Hey guys, it's Kay Journey, and I am back today with my Q3 setup in my writing notebook. So what's going on is I am sick. My youngest kiddo is sick, and so today I decided that I just really wanted to give myself a very simple, very easy setup. So what I did is I pulled out these like VooDoo doll stamps that I've got, and you'll see me use them in the beginning on this paper. This is a Leuchtturm 1917. And unfortunately, when you use stamps on a Leuchtturm, it like bleeds through or it ghosts really bad. So I started out doing it one way and then quickly realized that I just didn't like the way that it was turning out, and switched to doing it another way. So this is a VooDoo doll kind of creepy cute theme. And right now I'm actually like making each of these boxes like patchwork on the pages, which I actually really liked and was not something that I had planned on doing, but hit me in the moment. I'm also using my Ohuhu water-based markers that are kind of like the skin tone ones, to color in these little guys, and I'm very happy with how they turned out on the sticker paper. I was really unhappy with how this turned out on the Leuchtturm paper, and that's just because I was dabbing off the ink. I'd only flashed that for a second. I was dabbing off the ink on a side piece of paper so it didn't bleed through. And when I colored it in, the outline was just lost in the coloring. And then when I went to color it in on this paper, the markers were a lot darker and more saturated on this paper. I think it absorbed more of it, and kind of sucked in the pigment more. So these came out darker, but because the outline is easier to see, I think they came out better. So I went with them, even though I really did not want to use stickers. But aren't they cute? They're adorable and like little creepy things. I got these on Amazon. As of the last time that I looked for them, I couldn't find them. I think they're sold out, but I can look for them again. And if I find them, I will put a link for them in the description below. But yeah, I colored these in. This setup took significantly less time than my last setup. Not just because there's only a couple of spreads, like 3 spreads, but having the stamps instead of outlining and coloring things in myself, and on top of that, not painting after coloring, like I do with the Inktense pencils, really definitely cut down on the time. This took me about 3 hours to do, and that was with all of the mistakes that I made. So I'm very, very happy with it, but I did make a whole lot of mistakes. In the thumbnail, when I said chaos, there's chaos. There's so many mistakes in this setup. And you know, it just is what it is. This is functional for me. I'm making it cute because that keeps it entertaining for me and keeps me engaged and keeps me wanting to use it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't need to be perfect because I'm not perfect and I just need it to be functional. So I'm cutting out these stickers by hand. I'm not using a Cricut or anything, and they are messy, absolutely messy, and I don't care. Like once again, doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just moving on with my life. And I like how much more saturated these ones are, although that guy on the bottom, I colored him in like 3 times. So definitely had a hard time with him, but it's fine. So yeah. And here I am just kind of fiddling around with stickers and putting different things in different places. I don't end up using the candles, and I don't end up using the screws that are kind of with the thing on the bottom. They look a little phallic. I just don't end up using them at all, but I do end up using all of the buttons, and I kind of wish that I had stopped and made more buttons, and I actually might off camera because I really, really like them. But basically I'm just moving these stickers around, and that's one benefit of these stickers being something that I made myself. That I don't have to pull off a sheet, is that I can just move them around the page like I'm, fiddling with different pieces of paper, and then I can just stick them down. So I really, really appreciated that. I also ended up making a lot more of these little guys than I had planned coloring in them. I stamped them, but I didn't know if I was actually going to be using all of them, and then I ended up using all of them, which actually made me really, really happy. But so this short story spread right here, if you guys have been on my channel for a minute, you'll know that I've recently started a like short story brainstorming and then outlining series of videos. And what I'm thinking of is that I'm going to actually write these short stories and see where they take me. And if I really enjoy writing them, I'll make them like a freebie on my newsletter once I start my newsletter. So we're going to see. I've never historically really liked writing short stories. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, so here's the part where I made the biggest mistake in the entire setup here. I screwed up this calendar really badly. And the lines that I'm using here are the stitches that are in all of the little dudes that are around, and I really, really like it. I like how that turned out. Unfortunately, I miscounted the amount of days there were in the month, and I basically dropped an entire row of days that I needed. So instead of 5 rows on this calendar, I made 4 really wide rows, because I was like, oh, I have room. I can make them really wide, because I'm actually using these calendars and I'm really enjoying using these calendars. I didn't think I was going to use the previous calendar, honestly, and then I surprised myself. So what I'm doing basically is, instead of adding weeklies or dailies in this bullet journal, I am doing daily scratch paper. Like, basically I write down, what I want to get done, and then I write down what I actually got done. And then I transfer over like what scenes I've written that day and how many words were in those scenes and into this calendar. So it gives me like a bird's eye view of how much work I'm getting done. Also in here, I'm doing my weekly reviews for my 12-week year, which is working out really, really well. Because I didn't think that that would really fit in with my YouTube bullet journal. I really kind of wanted them separate, because my 12-week year is more about my goals rather than my business, if that makes any sort of sense. Anyway, I love how this calendar turned out, even though it is wildly off and doesn't work. But if I need to, in fact, I probably will, I'm going to add in the next row of like the next weekly row of boxes, probably on the next page after that. And just kind of write down what I need to there, and just, whoops, like, things happen. We miscount, we make mistakes, we are humans. This is not a pre-printed planner. But I'm having fun with it, so I'm going to go with it anyway. But yeah, that's it. Super simple setup for Q3. I've got all of my other pages that I need in the very beginning setup for all of the different projects that I'm working on. So this is just really something to get me through the next 3 months, and I will be referring back to my other pages. And here's a final flip through. There's some of the previous setup still not filled in, because they are supposed to last me all year. So my Q3 goals and kind of cover page, and I'll probably write something on the other page, I don't know what, my short story spread, and my July monthly that is completely incomplete. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.